Hey y'all, it's Kiara. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to do a chit-chat, get ready with me, and share 5 ways that faith and obedience has led us to experience success in our life. I have a special guest here, Amari, my niece and my fave girlie. So if you want to chit-chat with us and see more and learn more about what God has done in our life, make sure you stay tuned. Welcome back to another video. I know it's been a very long time, but we are back. If you're new here or if you don't know who I am Kiara Monique, and on this channel I like to focus on faith, beauty, business, and lifestyle. And in today's video, me and my niece, also like my little sis Amari, we're gonna do a get ready with me while we get ready for dinner. And we're gonna chat about like life, faith, and how your faith and obedience can help you see success in your life. So in the last 4 years, I started a company called Just Shuttle, which is a transportation agency that specializes in transporting special needs kids and children in foster care. In those 4 years, the company has seen a significant amount of growth, going from 4 clients to 100 plus, going from 1 van to 14 plus, going from 1 employee to 25 plus. And I feel that we've been able to do that because as a CEO, my main focus has been like stewardship. In the Bible, I guess God, like, basically, in the Bible, they talk about stewardship in the form of, like, I think it's a scripture, and listen, I'll pop it up on the screen if we can find it, which is like, if God can't trust you with small things, he's not gonna bless you like with more. Like, if you can't steward your apartment and keep it clean and take care of it, you can't expect for God to bless you with an opportunity to have like your dream home. So I use that stewardship in my life. Is like, in the first year of business, we only had 3 clients, and I treated those 3 clients like they were literally the most important people like ever, and gave them the best service ever. The way we communicated with, well, me at the time communicated with the parents, communicated with the person who oversaw the contract. Like, I literally treated it like it was a top tier contract. Rewind 5 years later, God was able to say, hey, you were able to do right by those 3 or 4 clients. You were able to, manage that money, to pay your tithes, to sow when I tell you to sow, and to also, again, steward the money by taking, the profit and putting it back into business, and, going from 1 van to continue to, expand the fleet, like stewardship. So one of the main things, I know we hop right in, but we gonna talk. One of the main reasons why I've been able to see a significant amount of success in my life is I stewarded. I've been stewarding the small things, right? Like I said, 3 kids, stewarding, my home. I've been in my home for, 6 years. It wasn't the perfect home when I bought it, but it was, I got a pretty good deal on it from my first home, and I, took care of it. And now we're doing like upgrades, and, not only do I have that home, but we have the Chicago apartment as well. So if you want to see a significant, there's any type of success in your life, I would just maybe look at your life and assess, like, how can I steward what I have? Maybe I don't have, the perfect car, but, I'm going to keep it clean and take care of it. And, if I'm faithful over the things I have, maybe God will bless me, with a better car. Same with your home, your clothes, like your body, everything. What are your thoughts on that, Amari?
So I do want to share the definition of stewardship with you all. So stewardship refers to the responsible management, care, and oversight of something entrusted to a person. In a Christian context, stewardship is often understood as managing everything God has entrusted to us: our time, talents, resources, relationships, and the earth, in a way that honors him.
That's good.
That's so good. Like, wow, like that's really big. Okay, so a little intro about me. I'm Kira's first niece, and and I'm gonna transition into obedience while I talk about this. But in 2019, I was living in Chicago. We're from Chicago, and I was in college, and I had this choice. I could stay in Chicago, or I could move to Milwaukee. Now, my life was really not going the way I anticipated it. So I decided to move to Milwaukee, and had I not moved here in obedience, I would not be where I am today. But when it comes to Stewardship, so I'm currently the operations manager of Just Shuttle, and my personal devotion is that, like, I need to be up before my drivers. I need to be up before the first dispatcher checks in. So if our first dispatcher check in at 5:30, I need to be up before them. But not only up before them, I need to be up and in my word and like prayed and done all the things I need to do before the first dispatcher happens, because at 5:55 in the morning we could be having transportation crises. And I need to be ready in my first mind. But that brings me into like the second way is obedient. Obedience is like a really, really big word for me. The first way of obedience is that, like, moving to Milwaukee was something that I had to be obedient with. I was 22 or 23. I'm in Chicago on my own. Nobody's telling me what to do. Like, and at the time, I thought that like I was living my best life. But after I moved, and like now, I realized that like, I'm so happy that I listened. Another thing is, I'm in therapy. I see my therapist once a week.
I'm in therapy as well, once a week.
And we just started EDMR, and about a year ago I was doing the Daniel fast, and I kept having these dreams that like the devil was chasing me and taunting me. The devil and the demon was taunting me because I didn't know my prayers, especially my protection prayers, and I was not serious about committing them to memory. So like after that dream, I was like, okay, God, I'm gonna stop playing in your face, and I'm gonna learn this prayer. So I learned Psalms 91, not just Psalms 91, but Psalms 91 is the most important on my obedience. So last Tuesday was my first session in EDMR, and it's involving a lot of childhood trauma. And right after the session, something really heavy was pulled out during the session, and I was having a really hard time regrouping. We had to end, and one of the things that I had chosen for my anchor was Psalms 91. And my therapist was like, well, let's go over it. So she pulls out the prayer, and she starts saying it. I hadn't been saying my prayers, and then as I'm saying it, when I get to the end of it, it clicked. What if I did not learn this prayer? What if I wasn't obedient to learn this prayer? I wouldn't have been okay leaving out of my therapy session. And like, being who I am, I'm the person who's preparing us for our meetings. I'm the person who's pushing our team for it. I'm the person who making sure that the operations are running smoothly so we can have a business, so that we can expand. So that means that I have to make sure that I'm being obedient to what God tells me to do, so He can continue to order my steps and continue to help like use me as an agency to grow Just Shuttle.
And I want to touch on obedience as well, because obedience literally like got me to the place that I am. You know, excuse like my voice, my wisdom too. We're having a little issue. So I think in 2019, like I was really like locking in with God and like really deciding that like I just want to like live the life that God, you know, is calling for me to live, right? And I was like locking in. I was listening to this podcast a lot, the Blessed and Bossed Up podcast by Tatum, and God literally in my prayer time like told me like, you need to quit styling. And I don't know if y'all know, we'll talk, y'all saw the videos, like literally my whole like adult life, like from my 20s up into my 30s, I was literally a wardrobe stylist, traveling, styling shoots, working with magazines, going to Fashion Week. I was a fashion editor for Kids Magazine, freelance clients, like all the things. Like that was my identity, and I just like didn't know like who I was outside of that. So when God told me to stop styling, and He didn't like clearly give me the next step, I was like, God, like I don't want to. Like I literally don't want to. Like I felt that my identity was a stylist, and I just didn't know like what my life would look like what I would tell people, like what I would do. And after like really fighting and tussling with God, I just decided that like, okay, fine. And let me tell y'all, like, literally, I think maybe 3 months later, the pandemic hit. So God was being very intentional. So I was like, okay, fine. Like, all right, I'm going to stop silent. So I stopped taking clients, but the calls did not stop coming in. Like, I got a call from Upscale Magazine to do, like, I think like a 6-page feature. It was like a 6K plus job. And I literally just, like, had to say no. Like, everything that was coming my way, like, I had to say no, and I just really had to, like, lock in with God. And that's when he gave me the idea to start Just Shuttle, which is literally a life-changing company that, like, literally, like, opened so many doors for, like, my life's work. So, like, again, maybe there's something that God is, like, telling you to do, or maybe something he's telling you not to do. Like, girl, be obedient and, like, listen to God, because I don't know what my life would look like if I didn't choose obedience.
That's so funny that I didn't realize the timeline of styling ending was so close to the timeline of, like, me moving. So in 2019, when I moved to Milwaukee, I had to move to my favorite aunt's house. This is going to be so controversial when it comes out because I have a lot of aunts. But
I think it'll be controversial.
but not actually. But, like, Kira and I are the closest in age in the family, so she's the baby of all of the siblings, and I'm the first grandchild. So we are the closest in age, so we've always been really close. So obviously I'm moving to Kira's house. And I moved here, and it was like, I need help. You have these skills. I need help starting this business. I don't really know what it's going to do. I remember we were just saying, like, oh, we're going to take people to the doctor. Like, we were just trying to figure out, or
take people from,
to
like,
work.
Milwaukee to, like, Amazon. Yeah.
Like, we were trying to figure out what the business was. We had no idea. And I'm like, okay, cool. We, you know, like, I'm just doing that. And then we were also doing the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Kira was recording the podcast.
Yeah.
And, like, when I tell you we were in the studio, I'm gonna set up shop. I'm gonna, like, set up the mic. I'm gonna set up the ambiance. You go do what you need to do. And she would go pray, get a word from God, and then come back, press play on the mic.
Yeah.
We get the whole thing, and then I'm editing it. Like,
it literally was, editing. I forgot
really
you used to edit the podcast.
Yes, I used to edit the podcast. Yeah. Like, we were really in the field back in the day.
Yeah. And I love that. And sometimes I, like, look at myself and say, God, like, my prayers, like, God, light a fire for me. Like, light a fire for you and me that'll, like, never go out. Because, like, I love myself when I'm literally, like, on fire for God. And when I look back at that point in my life, when I decided to be obedient, like, I was, like, literally on fire. And it's like, okay, I know that this is, like, a new version of me, but, like, I don't want to live a life where I'm not on fire for God. Yeah, so obedience. So one of the first ways to start seeing, you know, tapping into a level of success, and success can be whatever that means to you. Success can be you getting up daily, spending time, you know, with God, or eating clean and not going to Chick-fil-A. Like, success doesn't mean, like, oh, you got a house on the hill with 4 cars in the driveway and $5 million in the bank. Like, success is different for everybody. In this moment, I feel like a success because I'm doing something purposeful that God called me to do. So we wanted to share a few ways with you guys to tap into faith so you can see a significant level of success in your life. So one is stewardship. Yes. 2 is obedience. And what do we have for 3?
3 is discipline. Discipline is such a funny topic.
That's a strong word.
A very, very strong word, very funny topic. Do you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start. I feel like literally for the last almost, like, 5 years for sure, like, my New Year's resolution, or, like, my vision for myself that I wrote down is, like, I've always had a desire to, like, I want to just be the highest version of myself. I want to be strong, like, spiritually. I want to be the best woman that I could be, like, physically and mentally. But for some reason, I feel like I've never really been able to tap into, like, my best self physically, and that's because I just lack discipline, right? So, like, this year, I, like, really decided that I am going to tap into the highest version of myself physically, and I'm going to be disciplined, and that started with deciding to, like, change my diet. And it's, like, it's not, like, a diet. It's really a lifestyle, to change my lifestyle and my mindset, like, around food. Like, being disciplined, like, with what I put in my mouth. Like, I'm not going to, like, deprive myself of, like, everything, but it's, like, just snacking on junk food is just not something that aligns with the lifestyle that I see for myself, right? Like not being intentional about making sure I'm getting the proper amount of like protein and calcium and everything else I need. It's like I just need to be intentional about like what I'm putting in my mouth. And that takes like an extreme level of discipline. That takes like planning my meals and like my family menu a week in advance, and like being intentional about like eating at the same time every day. Like so one way that I'm like really tapping into discipline is like with my diet, and also like making sure that I'm moving. Like right now I've been working out like 5 days a week because I'm on a it's not like a plan, it's a challenge, but when that's over I do plan on at least like moving my body at least 4 times a week, because I just want to be a fit girly. Like I need to be disciplined in that area. What about you, Amari?
I do have a lot of areas that I'd be disciplined in, but first I want to say I'm really proud of you. You've really been like doing your thing. Like, no, like I feel like when we get into something new or when we really trying to get routine, we have to announce it. Like I'm at the gym, and like Kira's been at the gym, and nobody knows, nobody has to know, but between like what 7 to 9,
Yeah.
like I'll randomly get a screenshot like you lifted a bus today. What? I was like, oh, okay, like you're in the gym, like yeah, like I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
For me, God's been giving me some real challenges. So the first one he told me that like you're gonna stop smoking. There's no more smoking. Okay. And then the second one was celibacy. You're gonna be celibate. You're gonna be celibate. And you know, it's been a run. I think it's been well over 100 days. Well over 100 days. The third one is so that was the first two. Those were pretty big for me. Then it was like drinking. Okay, drinking isn't that bad. I'm a real social drinker. So it's like, okay, drinking is not that bad. But then he's like,
I'm not drinking either. Yeah, I'm not drinking for the whole month of January.
Then he's like, you're not gonna curse or listen to secular
music.
music.
Oh, child. Oh, yeah, okay. He been working on me with my tongue, y'all. Like, I'm sorry. No, I don't know where this like that cursing spirit came from. I think I got that from my dad. But it's been on me real strong, and I'm in the name of Jesus. That cursing spirit has to flee from me. I decree and declare that cursing spirit, it has to die because it's strong.
And it's hard.
It's so hard. Like, yeah.
It's so hard. Like, and I feel like the more aware I'm becoming of like not cursing, the more I'm cursing. Like, the more I'm saying, I'm like, oh my God. Like,
I need to work on my vocabulary. Like, give me some other words.
Give me some more words. Give me a diverse vocabulary that's colorful, that I don't have to resort to curse words. But yeah, cursing has been a big one. And like secular music. The more I'm separated from secular music, the more I realize how much death we wish over our lives in just singing songs. Like, and God keeps bringing it back to that. Like, we have to realize that, like, on this earth, and you were saying something about food that made me think of this. On this earth, we don't wrestle with flesh and blood. We wrestle with intelligent beings who rule, like, who are evil and who rule over principalities. So they're like, we are the youngest creation. We're God's youngest creation. We were only created about 6,000 years ago. God created many more things before us, and we wrestle with things that are way older than us, that are way more intelligent than us. And what we don't realize is that we take on these things because they're learned. We take on these spirits, and we take on these demons because they're passed down to us. Like, our eating habits oftentimes are associated with like how you ate as a child. And then like, you know, I was just thinking about, as you were saying, like I want to be more intentional about what I put in my body, and then I think about like how much like the kids love snacks. They only love snacks because we introduce it to them. They only curse because they know it at home. Just like little things like that. So discipline goes a long way. And yeah, discipline goes a long way. And then just like, shout out to my man, because everything I present to him, he's down for it. Like, celibacy was a big one, and it took us a while to get into it, but it's like, I'm not going to disobey God to please you. I can't do it. So it's like, we're gonna have to be on the same accord, or it's not gonna be. And we've been on the same accord, and then it's like, okay, the next one, not listen to secular music, not cursing. He's just on the same bandwagon.
Yeah. So, stewardship, discipline,
obedience.
Yeah, obedience and discipline. Yeah. Real quick, like if y'all like understand, or y'all tracking with us, like, leave us a comment. Like, what do you feel like you need to do to work on so you can start seeing some type of success in your life? Because like, and not even like success, just like wins, right? I feel like small wins like motivate us to like keep going, right? Like absolutely. If I can watch what I eat for a week, I'm gonna celebrate myself, and then I'm gonna do it again for 2 weeks. Like, it's something about like having that small win, or just patting yourself on the back when you know that you're doing like something that God can be proud of, or that like you could be proud of. I don't know. I just feel like we just need to do more of like what brings us joy. Yeah. And to be honest, I don't know if it's just like the natural leader in me or like the Capricorn in me, but like being disciplined brings me joy. Like me feeling like I'm tapping into like the highest version of myself, like that like legit brings me joy. I love that for me.
The fourth thing that we want to talk about is faithfulness. That's a really big one. I feel like we could spend a whole episode on faithfulness.
Well, I would say like I would just drop the ness, and I just would say faith. I don't know, like I feel like faith like is my thing, hence why like I wanted to start the podcast like called Faith is Fashionable, because I just feel like I'm a faith girly. I think one of the things that like set me apart like as just like a CEO and as a woman is like I've always had like a strong belief in myself, because I have a strong like faith in God. Mm-hmm. Like I always feel that like I like that scripture, like I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Like I really believe that. I really feel like I can do all things. And I feel like that because my Heavenly Father said I can. And it's like I trust Him so much, and I have so much faith in Him that like it makes me like believe in myself. Like faith is everything. Like to just like believe for something, and it's like that's not what I'm seeing in the present. Like what I'm believing for is not in front of me, but I just know that God will never leave me or forsake me. And I know if He told me and gave a vision that it's going to happen, it's like, yeah, I'm standing on faith. And like even my church, like we both attend virtually Transformation Church. Like our pastor, like he's all about crazy faith. Like we're all about like standing on faith. Like being in this apartment right now and like making this video is just like a testament of faith. It was like a desire and brought it to God, and it's like, Lord, you see that you can trust me with this. So like give me an opportunity to show you even more on how much you can trust me, and it's only the beginning. Just like everything, it's just like you have to have faith. You have to have faith even when things are not looking how you want them to look. Like people don't understand, like I literally started from the freaking bottom. Like, I literally started from the bottom. Like, I'm not privileged. I was not born with, like, a silver spoon in my mouth. Like, I was a single mom, like, at 21. And I decided not to let anything get me down and to keep my faith, like, super strong in God. And I believe that if I keep pushing, if I keep God first, if I, like, stand on His word, if I confidently move towards everything that He told me to move towards, like, I'm going to make something happen for myself. Yeah. And I did. So like faith is everything. Like you have to keep your faith even when it doesn't look like it's possible, even when it looks like all options are like off the table and it's like you're at your lowest point. You have to believe that God doesn't want to see you low, that if you trust in Him and you seek Him, that He will pull you up and like give you the desires of your heart.
I got to the point in like my faith where it's like I'm not just having crazy faith for big things, but like I'm believing in God for the smallest things in my life. So like we work a lot. Like we work a lot. And every day is not the same. Every day isn't smooth or whatever. But there's been times I'll never forget, there was like, I don't remember what happened exactly, but me and Kiara were out on a route. We're about to go do a route, and it was like something really significant. And I'm like, okay, God, I have to go pick up this kid, but I don't have the capacity to do it. So me and Kiara had a route, and I had a separate route that started before that, and I had a bunch of work to do. And I was like, I don't have the capacity to go get this kiddo. I don't know what to do. And I just left it there. And I go out to start my car to go get this kid, and my car wouldn't start. The battery died. And I was like, okay, God. And then Kiara pulls up to the office like, are you okay? And I'm like, y'all must just get in your vehicle, and we're going to go do the route that we have to. Something gets canceled in that moment, and I'm able to go dispatch another driver to the other route. I didn't have the capacity for it. Like, faith, just so small. Like, I know that God's going to take care of me. I don't have to ask any questions. Or I think about, like, over the summer we came to Chicago and you got an Airbnb in Fulton Market, and we were just like, you're like, yeah, we're gonna have a Chicago permit. And I was like, oh, okay. And we're on the balcony just like doing our prayers, drinking our morning coffee, talking to God. And now we're literally sitting doing makeup in the Chicago apartment, getting ready for dinner.
Yeah.
Faith is so, it's the foundation of what it means to have a relationship with God. It literally is.
Absolutely.
So let's go over the list again. So the first one is stewardship. The second one is obedience. The third is discipline. Fourth is
focus.
Fourth is faithfulness. 5 is patience. No, I'm sorry, I messed that up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, we had 6.
Let's do, I think, patience.
Patience?
Yeah.
It's 5? Okay.
I feel like faith and patience like goes hand in hand. Because you can be believing for something for 10 years. That doesn't mean that God's hand isn't on it, or that doesn't mean he's not doing work behind the scenes. But faith also goes hand in hand with trust.
Yeah.
You can't say you have faith in God if you don't trust him and you don't wait on him. What's the song? Wait on the Lord, he will renew your strength. You have to wait. Like, you have to have faith. I feel like God tests us, right? Like, all right, you have faith for it, you believe in for it, but will you wait on it? Will you patiently wait on it? Or will you step outside of my will and start trying to do things on your own, right? So I feel like when you decide to tap into your faith, just know you need to get ready to wait. Because God can give you a promise, and maybe it'll happen right away, but it could be like 3 years from now. You can be believing for a baby, and you have fertility issues, and God told you that he's gonna bless you with a baby, and you don't get pregnant in 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. It's like, all right, have faith, but you also need to be patient and trust God. So patience and trust in God goes hand in hand, and it's not fun. It's not fun, and it's not sexy, but it's like, it's mandatory. You can't have faith without trust. What are your thoughts on that? Because we're going to have to wrap this up.
Yeah, we do. You can't have faith without trust. And it's like, and this probably is like a whole nother episode, but like, accepting God as my father was a really hard and patient thing that I had to do, because it wasn't, because I didn't know how to trust my father, I didn't know how to trust God. So I didn't know how to be patient and wait on him. Now it's like, if it's meant for me, it will be. I'm not even gonna worry about it. He gonna let me know when I'm supposed to do what I'm supposed to do. And that's not an easy, that takes patience. It takes patience to build the fruits of the spirit when you're used to living in sin. It takes patience to, like, all the things. Like, I just listened to this thing on TikTok today, and it was like, what may look like a beginning is gonna be building. Like, you know, like, it's gonna compound. It's gonna eventually, like, you're gonna look back and be like, oh my God, it exploded, it's so big, I have so many things, but it may have not started there. So patience is real. And it's like slowing down. To live with God is to live a soft, slow life. There's this thing on TikTok, and it's like, God is a girl dad, and he wants us to live a soft life. But soft life doesn't come at fast pace. It comes with patience. Like, it comes with patience. So we have to be patient.
Yeah. I mean,
this last time, was it this one?
It was those two.
Okay.
Yeah. Patience is like literally everything. Like, we trying to be patient, but we're literally about to be late for our we have an Uber. Is that time right? Is it 7:20?
Yes, it's 7:20. Our Uber will be here in 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
And we are still putting a blush.
So we just wanted to, like, come on here and like chat with y'all and, like, you know, see what's going on. I feel like there's like not a lot of substance on YouTube, and honestly, y'all, I've been over there on the TikToks. Okay, TikTok is just a safe space for me to just be me and create and post and just like do what I want. Like, I love the platform, and it's actually January 18th, and the ban is supposed to happen tomorrow, and I'm literally like praying that it doesn't.
I'm faithful because I know whatever is supposed to be will be. Like, if we're not supposed to have TikTok, then we're not gonna have TikTok, and if we are, we are.
I ain't gonna lie, it can be a distraction sometimes. So I have to put. I'm supposed to only get 45 minutes a day on there. Overall, I just wanted to come on here and just like have a chat with y'all because like it's been a while. But also, I just want to take the opportunity to encourage y'all to just spend some time with God.
Yeah.
Seek God. Add Him into the mix of your life. Really put Him first in your life because I'm not perfect at all. I'm still like learning and growing every day. But me deciding to like trust God and let Him basically be the CEO of my life changed my life and like the trajectory of like my family's life, and I could not be like more grateful. I don't know what life would look like if I wasn't letting God steer the ship.
Right.
What you think?
I agree. I feel like often when people say like spend time with God, we hear like, oh, we need to go to church. I'm not telling any of you to go to church, and it's like religion is not relationship. We're encouraging you to have a relationship, and that's unique. I remember the first time I really prayed. Remember that one time we were at grandma's house and I was praying, and like I didn't greet God in a certain way. I would just be like, "Hi, God," and then I would start praying, and that was like my like bridge to our relationship. And like now it's like different ways I go about things. We're encouraging you to have a relationship with God. Like if you truly want your life to change, you're gonna find a relationship with God, because then what you're gonna find is His will and the purpose for your life, and that's when your life really gonna take off. So yeah.
So we literally love y'all, and we're praying for y'all, and we cannot wait to chat again. We'll be back in a few minutes so we can wrap up this glam and literally get out of this door because our Uber is about to be here. So we'll call it back in 1 minute. We'll be back in 1 minute. Y'all, thank you so much for watching. That was a lot. That was a very deep conversation. We didn't expect to get that deep, but I think we need to normalize talking about the goodness of God in our lives and things we are learning on the daily to just like be the best version of ourselves. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave us a big thumbs up. Leave us a comment. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know your favorite part of the video, and also let us know like what are you doing to tap into being the highest version of yourself so you can experience some success. Be sure to leave a comment and let us know like what other type of videos you'd like to see on the channel. If you would like Amari to come back, like what do you guys want us to talk about? Also, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and to give the video a big thumbs up. We love y'all so much. We praying for y'all, and we hope this video was a blessing. We will see you guys in the next one. Bye.